Over 100 years ago, back when I was just an edgy teenager, I bought a key for the Cube World Alpha. But let's start this story where it actually starts. Back in the day, I didn't really pre-order a lot of games. Truth is that back in the day, most of the games I got were gifts, not bought with my own money. But occasionally I'd make a reservation for Pokemon Pearl or Smash Bros. Brawl. See, Nintendo had this policy back in the day that they would send 7 whole copies to the Netherlands and distribute them randomly across different shoe stores. So you were lucky to even get one. In other words, if a game was gonna be big and you hadn't made a reservation, you'd be waiting for up to a month or so until the stores finally got their second supply. But even then, these reservations did not require me to pay upfront. I'd just receive a call that my game was in and that they would hold it for like a day or two and I could come over and buy it. Nevertheless, it felt exciting to be able to already buy the game that I was so hyped for. And that would ensure that I would be able to play it the day it would come out. The first time that I actually placed a bet on a game was when I bought Minecraft during its beta. Now, don't get me wrong, I'd already been playing Minecraft since the alpha, just through less legal means. Honestly, I'd be hard-pressed to call the purchase of that beta key a gamble, betting that Minecraft was gonna be a great game while it was in the beta, while it was already a great game. That's like betting the roulette ball will land somewhere in the roulette wheel. So now we go on to 2013, where Cube World enters the scene with its gorgeous graphics and wow! Look at all these colors, it's like over 5 colors. I was 17 at the time and my brother and I had both purchased an alpha key, expecting Cube World's story to go the same way as Minecraft's. Even though Cube World's alpha felt a little less exciting than Minecraft's, we both assumed that within a year or something the game would be released and it would be a great time. Fast forward to November of that year and we entered the Dark Ages. Cube World has had very little exciting news, but that game is not really on my mind anymore. I'm thinking about the new Call of Duty. I played Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, and now the new game in town was Call of Duty Ghosts. And if you pre-ordered, you got to play on the shittiest map ever, and other players didn't. So I had to pre-order. And did it pay off? So then I, like many gamers, learned to never pre-order games again. Enter Kickstarter. This is not pre-ordering, this is supporting the development of a game before it's even out. Because you know the game is gonna be amazing when it comes out. I backed a bunch of projects, Shovel Knight, Yooka-Laylee, Ahead in Time. Not all of these games turned out to be amazing, but at least all of them were like good fun and worth the price I paid for it. At least it wasn't Mighty Number 9. I feel like I got lucky with the games I backed. At this point, I'd given up on Cube World ever coming out though. I was afraid Ahead in Time would suffer the same fate, but eventually the game came out and it was pretty good. The bad Kickstarters were important as well though. They showed people that they shouldn't go backing any product, any idea. That paying for the idea of a product and hoping that the end result will be good is just a gamble. Effectively, it is just as much a gamble as pre-ordering a game. I learned, like many gamers, that backing a game's development, just like pre-ordering, should be done with extreme caution. Enter the roadmap. Nah, nobody, don't worry about it. This game is the full release. It's not the alpha, it's not the beta, it's not in development. It's still full of bugs and lacking a lot of content. But look at this roadmap. Look at all the stuff we have planned for this game. Just buy it now, and it'll be amazing in the future, we promise. What's that? Oh, the game didn't sell very well. Alright, it seems like we're gonna adjust the roadmap just a little bit. Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame, but then, yeah, you did already sort of give us your money, so, yeah. Yeah. And enter the next flavor of bullshit that the industry will come up with next to get the money out of our pockets before they even finished making a full game. I'm done. I'm never ever gonna put down my money again for a game that I can't play right that moment. I don't care about the roadmap, I don't care about future content or ideas or what it's gonna be. If the game you can show me now looks fun, then I'll happily pay up. But I'm not fully done, am I? Still waiting for one unfinished chapter in this story. But before we do that, you know what is an early access investment that I would recommend you make? Subscribing to small YouTube channels. Like, for example, what's this? Fostus? This one looks promising, yeah. And you can still be part of the first 1,000 people. How much will this investment set you back though? Oh yeah, it's free. I have that! Very good, just click that beautiful red button down there. Back to riskier investments. After 6 years, was Cube World worth the wait? If you followed any of the news surrounding the beta, you'd know that opinions are divided. But I don't really care about what other people think, I care about what I think. And I think the game is fun, but not fun enough. Let me first explain why the game is fun, as it provides context for my criticisms. If you're looking at footage of this game, you'd probably think the game looks amazing and I want to buy it and explore it and see all there is to see, and you're right. It's like going through a Dungeons and Dragons campaign or something. The world feels alive, NPCs have all kinds of flavors surrounding them, and you find these weird mobs and these weird structures, and every region is different. The amount of content in this game is really overwhelming, and I assume it's where most of the development time went in these last 6 years. However, the most common complaint you'll find online is that there is very little sense of progression in the game. And I'm afraid I have to agree with that. See, when you cross a region's border, all your stuff basically resets to 0. That boat you found? Gone. Your legendary gear? Worthless. I assume that the reason this is done is so that every region feels like a new adventure, a fresh start where you have to work your way up to take on that final dungeon. These dungeons, by the way, contain the only form of permanent progression in the game. Unfortunately though, they provide upgrades like increased glider speed or increased swimming speed. Yeah. Second, compared to the alpha, you'll find that there's no longer EXP in the game, or a skill tree you unlock by leveling up. Instead, all your abilities are unlocked from the get-go, and your upgrades are found purely in the gear you find in specific regions. Or kingdom, if you're fucking posting in the comments already. I know. But hey, what the hell? Maybe this isn't an RPG like World of Warcraft or whatever with all the level ups and the grinds and whatnot. Maybe this is all about the adventure. And to a certain degree that's true for a few hours. Until eventually you realize that all the quests are very basic RPG quests. Save a guy from a bunch of mobs. Kill the mobs that are attacking my house. Find the item protected by a bunch of mobs. Everything revolves around combat and there's not a lot of depth in the exploration. It's just more combat. And the combat, unfortunately, is quite stale. Like I said, you have all your abilities from the start, and I'm afraid that's not a good thing, because you figure out how to do your rotation as efficiently as possible and then that's it. I played a warrior, so all I did was hitting stuff to get my MP up, and then block to hit my stun move, and then I use all my energy to... And then I'd repeat it all. It was fun for one play session, but not for 10. This means that, unfortunately, all of Cube World's appeal is strictly on the surface level. The exploration becomes monotonous really quick once you realize that all you're gonna find is more combat, or stuff you've seen before already, or stuff you just don't care about.
Get best, get best.
Boom! Let's go!
Increases the radius of your land.
Kan niet zien.
Let's go jongens, lekker bezig!
Let's go, next area!
Welke area pakken we nu jongens?
Your combat rotation stays mostly the same throughout the whole game, and completing a dungeon or region instead leaves you feeling empty, as now you have to start all over again. And there's precious little you get to keep on you and to take with you that it's of any use. The game's premise seems to be exploration, but the game's mechanics are too conflicting to get that across properly or make exploration exciting in any way. Luckily though, this game is 100% savable, like 1000% rescuable. Like, people have named a multitude of ways in which they think the game can be improved, and for me personally, I'd have to say that the focus needs to be on combat and secondly the artifacts. Imagine a system where your abilities aren't just given to you like they are now, but instead they come from a combination of your class and the current weapon that you're wielding. So let's say you start with a sword and you can still spin around, but then if you get an axe you can toss it out like a boomerang or something and it comes back. And then legendary weapons can have even wackier and more unique abilities on them as a bonus. This will bring some much needed variety into the combat. And maybe you'll decide to swap to an objectively worse weapon or piece of armor, but for this specific fight or for this specific situation, it provides you with just the benefits that you need. Next, please make these artifacts worth my time. At least make it like 1% more crit chance or 25 base health, just anything. And next, I'd say like work on traversal or something, because there's a lot of walking in this game and there's nothing happening while you're walking. Or you know, just save all that for the sequel. Tetrahedron World!